Hello, this week we are working with charts. I'm going to put this on full screen. Okay, we're going to use Excel to create all of the charts actually. And there are two different ways. For some of the charts, you're going to click on Insert from the main menu and then click on Recommended Charts. For others, you will click Insert from the main menu and then you'll scoot over and find the icon for Statistics charts, and I will point that out as we come to them. First, let's talk about frequency tables. Frequency just means making a count, figuring out how many times something occurs. And then we set up tables like the one that's pictured on this slide. I have here, 18 grades on a test, let's say. And I've decided in this table that I need frequencies or counts of the grades between 90 and 100, between 80 and 89, and so on. So those are probably A, B, C, D, and F. And I count them then from the data set and I determine the frequencies for each of those intervals. So that's all we mean by a frequency table. And I do have a URL at the bottom where you can get some additional information on frequency tables. Histograms. You're going to be asked to create a histogram, maybe more than one. And for this, you are going to use statistic chart. Now, I have a little clip there of the chart options, and notice recommended charts is the first one. And then you've got a group of what, 6, 7, 8 different icons for different types of charts. And the one I want you to pick here is the one right in the middle, which looks like a histogram. And a little pop-up box is going to say Insert Statistics Chart. So click on that one. And when you do that, it's going to take the data that is sitting in your Excel file, which is the third shot over here. And I just threw some numbers in there and notice that I do have them sorted in order. And the histogram is going to default to 3 bars, and we call these bins. And notice at the bottom, you can see what the ranges are. They're saying that there are 4 numbers in that data set between 23 and 48.3. There are 4 numbers between 48.3 and 73.7. And likewise, just 2 numbers in the third bin. Now you can change the bin numbers because often we want more than 3 vertical bars on our histogram. On the next slide, I'm going to show you how to do that. I've got the same data set here, and notice this time I have 5 bins, and I apologize because the bottom, the ranges fell off of this clip for some reason. Now, the way you do this is when you have your histogram chart up with 3 bins, if you click in the chart, a little plus sign box is going to appear outside in the upper right-hand corner. Click on that, and you get a pop-up that gives you several choices. And notice you can do a lot of stuff with this. You can change the title, you can change the data labels, you can add more grid lines, and so on. I want you to click on axes, and then you get another pop-up box. And the one that we want here is the more axis options. And when you click on that, this little bar window on the side is going to open. And notice that the last display that you can see there is number of bins. And I changed it to 5. When you come in, it's going to be 3. I changed it to 5. You can also change the width and all that other stuff. But so anyway, that's the way you change the number of bins. And it's up to you. You can, put as many bins as you want to. Stem and leaf plot, sometimes called a stem plot, is another type of graph. This one isn't quite as easy because there isn't actually a stem and leaf chart in Excel. So what you're going to do is take your data set and you're going to use data sort in order to put the numbers all in order. And once they are sorted, you determine the stems. These are all 2-digit numbers. So the stems are going to be the tens digits. And those would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. So you're going to create a table, and you can do this by hand in Excel. And in the first column, you're going to put the stems, and then you're going to create as many columns as you need to display the leaves. It turns out that this is a rather small data set, so there's only one leaf for the stem 2. only one for the stem 3. There are 2 for the stem 4, you'll see, and so you display them, 4 and 5. They should always be in order, by the way, numerical order. There are 2 for the stem 5, and they happen to be the same, but you still have to show them both. And likewise for the stem 6, only 1 for 7 and 9. So that, what we end up with there is a stem and leaf chart, or a stem plot. A line graph is simply a graph that plots the values as they appear in your list. And again, if you click the chart and click on the plus sign, it's going to let you select some options. I chose display the data on the line, and you'll notice that it's doing exactly that. And you can have it displayed above the line, on the line, below the line. Okay, so that's a line graph, and we will be using line graphs quite a bit when we study regression. Bar graph, there are several options. You can see on the picture here, I've got the, I've clicked on insert recommended charts, and then I clicked on bar, and you notice at the top there are several different options that you can pick. The one we typically choose is the clustered bar. The bar charts are always going to be horizontal displays of data. That's what distinguishes them from column charts. Quartiles. You're going to be asked to determine some quartiles, and there is a quartile function in Excel. There actually are 2 of them. One is quartile.inc, which I think I've used over here on the Excel sheet clip, but you can just simply use quartile. The quartiles actually are dividing the data into 4 pieces. So the middle quartile, or the second one, is going to correspond to the median of the data set. I've actually drawn the lined arrows here to show you where the quartiles fall. And you can see that it's taking this 20 pieces of data and splitting them into 4 chunks, 5 in each chunk. So the first quartile, quartile A1 through A20, comma 1, would be the mark between the 5th and the 6th data item, which, since they're both 67, that will be 67. Likewise, quartile 2 will be between 78 and 78, which is 78. Quartile 3 is puzzling because, and I'm not sure why this Excel is doing this, but Excel came back with 92 for quartile 3. Notice, by the way, in my clip there, I didn't bother to sort the data. You don't really need to, because Excel will do the sort internally when you use the quartile function. So anyway, when I'm looking at this display of data, the quartile, the third quartile, should be between 90 and 98, and the value that falls in between there would be 94. But for some reason, Excel is selecting 92, so be careful, watch out for that. And then quartile 4, of course, is the maximum data value. There is a quartile 0 also, and that would return the minimum 45 in that data set. Okay, let's see. Box and whisker plot is another one. Sometimes just called a box plot. And it's going to display basically the information that we saw in the quartiles. It's going to give us the least value in the set, which is right at the bottom there, 23, the max, which is up there at 99, and then it puts in a box the boundaries for the first quartile, the second quartile, and the third quartile. And this is a different data set, so the numbers are a little bit different here. Okay, box and whisker plot, determining the quartiles. Okay, I hope you have a good time with these charts, and please ask me questions if you need to.